before you'll be joining the fight yourself.
That's right. Don't worry, Uncle Raylo. I won't let those soldiers sneak up on you.
Now, Raylo, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was 2 days ago now. We stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had us lined up to the headsman's block and ready to start chopping.
The cowards.
They wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then. But then, out of nowhere, a dragon attacked.
When your friend told me, I didn't believe it at first either.
I can hardly believe it myself. And I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion, we managed to slip away. Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else has come up the South Road today, as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but...
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Raylof's is a friend of mine. I'm glad to help any way I can. Cross the river and then head north. You'll see Whiterun on its hill as you pass the falls. Jarl Balgruf? I don't mean to be disrespectful, as he's ruled Whiterun Hold well for years, but he seems in over his head now. He's been trying to stay out of the war, but it can't last. He's going to have to pick a side. I'm afraid he's going to make the wrong choice. I wouldn't say that. But he and Ulfric have been at odds for years, and I'm afraid Balgruf will end up siding with the Empire because of it. But it's hard to believe that even Balgruf would choose Elisif over Ulfric. Of course, Ulfric's cause is just. It's time for Skyrim to rid itself of the Empire. The Empire may have been good for Skyrim once upon a time, but those days are long past. Banning the worship of Talos was the last straw. Thalmor everywhere, dragging people off for honoring our own gods. I'm glad Raylof is helping drive them out of here. If I was a bit younger, I might have joined the fight myself. It's my mill. Some folks thinks it's my town too, but it ain't. The Jarl in Whiterun owns the land and the town. I just pay the taxes. I suppose she's Jarl Elisif now. She married High King Turig just before Ulfric killed him. The Empire supports her claim to be High Queen. I don't really have anything against her. Not her fault that her husband Turig was bought and paid for by the Empire. But she's nothing but a puppet for the Empire now, with her husband Turig dead. Ulfric will make sure she never takes the throne as High Queen. Some say murdered, but it was a lawful challenge in the old way. Ulfric called him out as a traitor to Skyrim, and killed him in single combat. If Turig couldn't defend his throne, he had no business being High King. No, not until the moot meets to choose another, and it won't meet until one side or the other wins the war. Don't worry, though. Ulfric is our rightful High King. He'll drive out the Empire, and Skyrim will have peace at last. And by supplies, I suppose you mean weapons and armor? Alvor can help you out. He's our blacksmith. Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. Help yourself to whatever you need within reason. All right,
Thanks,
then.
sister.
So
I
you
knew
saw
to
a
count
dragon,
on.
did you? Tell me, what was it like? As big as a house?
Well, I'll be. That'd be a sight to see. Not that I actually want to see one, understand. I hope that dragon stays far away from here.
I ought to get back to work before I'm missed, but did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric?
Don't worry. I'm sure he made it out. It'll take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric's Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and, you know, show them where everything is.
Help them drink up our mead, you mean? Good luck, brother. I'll see you later.
I told you my sister would help us out. Just head north. Can't miss it. It's the capital of Whiterun Hold. Jarl Balgruuf still hasn't declared for one side or the other. So at least you won't run into any Imperials along the way. What? Oh, hardly. I don't think even Ulfric could pull a dragon out of his pocket. Lucky for us it attacked when it did, eh? I wasn't looking forward to getting a shave from the Imperial headsman. Damn right. Just like all true sons of Skyrim should. You should come to Windhelm with me and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric. Well, maybe not. Dragons haven't been seen in Skyrim for an age or more. But wherever that dragon came from, and whatever it wants, Ulfric will get to the bottom of it. You can count on that. Besides, you have your own score to settle with the Empire now. And with that dragon. I hope so. Skyrim needs people like you to fight for her freedom. Come on. Better get moving.
I'm glad to help any way I can. Lucan over in the Riverwood Traders says thieves broke into his store. Strange. He says they hardly took anything.
Can I help you? Got business here in Riverwood, eh? I've got enough to worry about, taking care of my family. I don't concern myself with such matters. Aye.
Make yourself at home. I'm glad to help any way I can. A fine day to you, friend. May you die with a sword in your hands. We're a small village, but we work hard and take care of our own. Until next time.
Windhelm. Good luck. Next Imperial I see is dead.
I own the lumber mill and pay a fair wage. See my husband Hod if you're looking for work.
I hope to see you in Windhelm. Good luck.
Welcome. Hunting Brew uses only the finest natural. Take a look. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You need something to do, or you just enjoy slowing down the hard-working folk?
If you need to sample some of the finest mead in Skyrim, you're in the right place. If you're looking to purchase any mead, speak to the owner, Sabjorn. We're a small meadery, but growing quickly. Sabjorn's only been running this place for a short time now, and look at it.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready. Brigands I can handle. But this talk of dragons? World's gone mad, I say. Cause trouble in Whiterun, and I'll haul you into it. Dragon's Reach dungeon myself. You should talk to the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. Lend any aid you can. Yeah!
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you. Out of trouble, kinsman.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorlin Green?
I used to be an adventurer like you, but I took an arrow in the knee.
Be glad you're here in the city, not out in Riverwood. Those poor sods don't even have a wand.
Blade, you should talk to Adrian. Takes a fair bit of strength to carry a greatsword like that. But can you use it?
What would you have me do then? Nothing?
My
What's
lord,
the meaning
please.
of this interruption?
This is no time
Jarl
for rash
Balgrup is
action.
not receiving
I just
visitors.
think we need more information before we act. I just...
Well, that explains why the guards let you
Who's
in.
this then?
Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If
The
that
Jarl
dragon
of
is lurking in the
Falkreath will view
mountains...
that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I've found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from? I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold. Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be. If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
This is a priority now. Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late. May the gods watch over your battles, friend. No doubt, he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also, because he knew he could. With good planning and constant vigilance. Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do. If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty, and perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps this is also true. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to
found
keep.
me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
I serve Jarl... The Jarl is, as you can imagine, very busy. The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a look at this decree for details. Well, there are 3 of them, arranged in 3 tiers, as you may have noticed. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace are found there. Most of the city's residents live in the Wind District, which is the middle of the 3. Dragon's Reach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city. That is an old tale, but well known to those of us who serve in the keep. Long ago, there lived a mighty hero of the Nords, Olaf One-Eye. Olaf did battle with a fearsome dragon named Numenex. The struggle between Olaf and the dragon culminated in a mighty duel atop Mount Anthor, with Olaf the victor. Olaf returned in triumph to Whiterun. By his decree, the city's keep was rebuilt as a prison for Numenex. And so, from that time until this, our great keep has been called Dragon's Reach. Ah, splendid. Our fine city has a proud history, and I'm happy to share what I know. The history of Whiterun begins with Jorvaskr, the Hall of the Companions. For a long time, it was the only building on the mountain. As time passed, a thriving community sprang up around Jorvaskr, as was common with mead halls. Today, Whiterun is the jewel of Skyrim. I can say without boast that it is the greatest city in all the holds. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Trouble? Takes a fair bit of strength to carry a great sword like that. But can you use it? Stormcloaks, Imperials, Dragons, ain't no matter to me. Careful if you cross the river to the east. Old Hajvar Ironhand and his brigands are holed up in that cave. White River Watch.